Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole and it's by user KSHD. Am I the a-hole? My parents kicked me out of the house with no warning. For a little backstory, I've, 21 male, have been living with my parents due to some recent life events. About a month ago, my dad crashed my car and my mom refused me to let me use theirs for my commute to work. Long story short, my parents ended up paying for the expenses to have my car fixed. We did also end up sharing a car until I had mine back. After that, I thought it was done and over. My mom made a comment about it here and there, but it didn't seem to seriously bother her, until about a week and a half ago. She demanded that I paid them all the money for my car expenses back. She said it wasn't fair she lost money to an accident she didn't cause. And I think that's fair, but I reminded her that I didn't cause it either. Dad caused the accident, and I told her I'm sorry that it ended up affecting her as well, but that it didn't change the fact my car had to be fixed and it was my dad's responsibility. She got really mad at that and started on a rant about how it was unfair and I was using them for money. What was my dad's response to all of this? He just agreed with her. I ended up just telling her what I've already said because there was honestly nothing else to say. She's been very upset with me since then, but she never mentioned any possibility of kicking me out. So imagine my surprise a couple of days ago when I came home to all of my stuff being outside of the house in boxes, literally on the curb. I was honestly shocked and mad about this, and I immediately went in the house to question my parents about this. My mom said that she was tired of letting someone so ungrateful live in her house. My dad just repeated what my mom said, but in a kinder way because I guess he thought she was being harsh. I couldn't believe it. I asked her to explain how I've been being ungrateful, and she responded by basically saying, "We raised you." We went back and forth for a bit, and we were both pretty mad at each other. Then, my mom told me to leave the house or else she would call the police on me. I have no idea if anything actually would have come of that situation, but at this point I was so confused and angry that I just went outside and called around to find someone I was able to stay with. I ended up sleeping at a friend's house. It's been a couple of days now and siblings have both been calling me. I guess my parents must have told them what happened. I'm assuming it was specifically my mom bad talking me to them. My sister agrees with my mom and says I should have just paid the money back. My brother agrees that it was unfair of them to kick me out, but also says I should have just paid the money back. My dad has also been trying to reach me, but honestly, I've just been too mad to pick up the phone for him. I'm just so shocked by the whole situation. I wouldn't say me and my parents' relationship has always been easy street, but it's never been this bad. I honestly thought we were good until all of this. The worst part is I was planning to move out and rent an apartment with a friend once their lease was up in 2 months. My parents knew that and still decided to do this. I'm just so confused and I don't understand where they're coming from. I get they raised me and took care of me and all that, but I just feel like that doesn't give them the right to do this all of a sudden. I don't think I did anything wrong. So honestly, am I the a-hole in this situation? No, OP, you are not the a-hole. Your mother is absolutely off base here. Just because I raised you, you need to pay me because your dad crashed your car? I'm sorry your dad has no spine, OP, and that your mom is an outright idiot. And it sounds like it's seeping into your siblings. No, OP, you're not the a-hole. As you said, your dad crashed your car, he needs to pay for it. If your mom's pissed at anybody, she should be pissed at him. In my opinion, kicking you out is unfair, but unfortunately, she can do that. Now, the way I would look at it is just getting your life started 2 months sooner than you expected if you can. You just need to wait it out for some time. I don't know, maybe you could couch surf, keep saving up some money, and then move into your own apartment and forget about them. Because the "we raised you" logic opens up too many doors to just let it fly. In a few years, they'll come knocking on your door, demanding money from you because they raised you. So no, OP, not the a-hole. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's check out the community comments. Any Expression 2246 says, "You're not responsible for the accident. There's no way you're responsible for the money. It's fine if they want you out, but that's not the way to do it. Do your best, find a place, live your life. When they come crawling back, tell them to F off." Warn your siblings, they'll probably do the same to them. And Opie responds, I probably should have said this in the post, but my siblings are older than me. My sister is in her late 20s and my brother is in his early 30s. They're already well off and out of the house. I honestly think that's another point of tension with my mom because right now, in her own words, I'm the only one of her kids that is failing at life. Casey Amfichi says, not the a-hole. Your parents brought you into this world and were 100% obligated to raise you, feed you, clothe you, etc. You do not owe them for that. Your dad wrecked your car. The right thing to do is for your dad to fix it and pay for it. What your parents did was hurtful and just plain wrong. I'm sorry you had to go through this. Ford Warrior says, my guess is that if you'd wrecked their car, they would have expected you to pay for the damages. I would ask them. Packing up your things and putting them outside was pretty dirty, but it is what it is. You planned to move out in a couple of months, so just consider this an early out. Hopefully, you can couch surf for a few weeks. That's what I said. Let your mother's calls go to voicemail, but answer your dad if he calls again. That would be the time to ask him if he would expect to pay damages if you wrecked his car. Depending on his answer, you can decide whether you'll pay him back or not. Not the a-hole. And Firm Profile 2079 says, your mom's delusional and your father lacks integrity and doesn't know what the word accountability means. Screenshot this, send that to them, and tell him he's a gatherer. Well, the community agrees that OP is not the a-hole. Now, OP has given us 4 updates to the story, so let's move on with the first one to see what happened next. Some things have happened since my last post. I calmed down a bit and decided to finally answer one of my dad's calls. He started talking about how afraid he was that I was never going to talk to them again. Then he said that things weren't supposed to go that way the other day and apologized for mom putting my stuff outside. Apparently, the plan was to talk to me about it first, but he said mom got caught up in her emotions. When I asked why he didn't step in, he said it was because he didn't want to upset her anymore. Coward. I didn't really want to accept that excuse, but I took it so we could move forward. That was until I got another call from my brother. Mom's been absolutely crap talking me to him and my sister. Apparently, she kept comparing me to them and how good they're doing. Mind you, they're both older than me by several years. Then, she went on a rant about how much harder it's been to raise me compared to them. At one point, he says she even insinuated that I was a mistake. Though he says to take that with a grain of salt as she didn't outright say it. My brother wasn't comfortable with listening to her talk about me so harshly and he decided to call and tell me. I'm feeling a mix of emotions about all of this right now. Part of me is still mad about the whole suddenly kicking me out thing, but I'm mostly just sad about it all. Knowing that my mom is saying all this stuff behind my back only makes me think she really means it. And whether she outright said it or not, hearing that she thinks I'm a mistake honestly crushed my soul. I don't understand why still, but I guess she has her reasons. I don't really want to talk to her again, but I do really want to know the truth of why she feels this way about me. I'm not sure about Dad yet. I'm not the type to cut people off, and having to do it to one person is already too much for me. I'm still staying with my friend as of now until I figure out what I'm doing. I guess I'll see how it goes from here. So now let's move on to the next update. So a lot more has happened over the last few days. First, I went back home the other day to grab some important things I needed. I waited to go back over there until I knew my mom would be at work and tried to make it quick because I didn't particularly want to see my dad either. While I was there, I did tell him what my mom had said about me. He did seem shocked she would say that to me or my siblings, but when I asked if this is the first time she's ever said that, he admitted that she's told him that more than a few times. When asked if he knew why, he just told me she has her reasons, but they're not my fault. I tried to get him to explain more, but that's really as far as he would go. I don't really know how I should feel about that, but I just went with it. I asked if that's how he felt about me too. He said it's not and that he loves me. It hasn't really felt like that's true, and I wanted to say that to him, but I just ended up saying, okay. I told him I'm cutting mom completely off and him too for now. After that, I took my stuff and left. Fast forward to a couple days ago, I got a very angry series of messages from my sister about how horrible I am for turning our brother against our mom. She said I made mom cry and that I should be ashamed of myself. Needless to say, I had no idea what she was talking about. As far as I knew, my brother wasn't against anyone in this situation, so I was just confused. I tried to ask her to explain, but I should know by now that I never get an answer from that. So instead, I called my brother to ask him directly. Apparently, Mom found out that I knew about what she said. I'm assuming Dad told her. Then she called my brother and screamed at him for going behind her back and telling me, to which he responded that she was the only one saying things behind people's back and that she was being unreasonably mean to me for no real reason. He told her she should get her priorities straight and go yell at Dad for causing this whole thing. Then he told her not to call him again if all she was going to do was yell about someone or something. I honestly wasn't expecting that from my brother. He's not the type to step into conflict if he doesn't have to, but obviously her yelling at him set him off. I'm not trying to say I'm happy she did that, but I am happy my brother responded the way he did. Obviously, she cares more about what he thinks than she does me. I told my brother about what Dad says, and he agrees his response feels weird. I asked if he possibly knows why since he's a bit older than me, but he's just as shocked about this all as I am. He also said he would talk to my sister about everything and get her to back off. So now I'm waiting to see how things go with that. Like I said before, I'm not the type to cut people off, but if my mom is just going to use my sister to talk to me, I'm going to block her too. Also, as far as housing goes, I decided to take my friend up on his offer and stay until my other friend's lease is up. That's the update for now. Okay, well then let's move on to the third update. I had a conversation with my dad a few days ago. My brother and I talked him into giving me a better response than Mom has her reasons. I just wanted to know why, or if Mom had any reason for saying what she said, and he finally told me. The story according to Dad is him and my mom were in their late 30s, early 40s when they found out Mom was pregnant again, which I did know and after reading some comments thought might be contributing to this whole thing. At the time they had decided that they were fine with just my siblings and were done having children, so it wasn't the best surprise to them, but they didn't have an option but to go along with it. Apparently, the pregnancy was super hard for my mom. He said she was always in and out of the hospital. It put a lot of stress on my parents and they had to worry about my mom's life and mine. Eventually, Mom began feeling some type of resentment. Dad even said that Mom started to question if the pregnancy being so bad was a sign God didn't want her to have me, and the birth was apparently also very traumatic for her. She ended up having to give birth prematurely due to complications and lost a lot of blood during the process, which led to more pain and resentment. Dad said Mom had a hard time connecting with me as a baby and that she said it didn't feel right. Then, when I was a kid, I had some health issues which added more stress onto their plate. So Mom eventually started believing that God had made some type of mistake and accidentally punished them with me. I want to say that hearing that did make me sad for Mom, and I do feel bad for what she went through to bring me into this world. But at the same time, I didn't choose for her to do that. So to get blamed for it seems unfair. They had a decision to prevent this if they didn't want it, and they actively chose not to. Or at least, Dad did, as in his own words, he doesn't believe in contraception. He did also mention another reason though. Mom never wanted me to move back into the house. She had been waiting for so long for the house to be empty already, so was angry at the thought of me staying at home once again. He said she always thought my reasoning was stupid and that I was overreacting. Dad ended up convincing her to let me stay for a little while though I think Dad believes the same. He just didn't want to seem bad. I'm not going to go into too much detail about why I moved back in, but to sum it up, my abusive ex tried to literally end me. So I had to find a new place to stay quick, and at the time, everything was too expensive for me. Plus, none of my friends lived nearby then. So my parents were the best choice, and I thought they were fine with it. I've never seen it as a point of tension between us, but I will say that my dad's made fun of me more than a few times for it. I assume that's what Mom's view is too on it. That is a stupid excuse. So that's what my dad says Mom's reasoning for all of this is, and he's as close as I can get to asking her directly, so I'm going to have to take his word for it. After hearing all of this, I'm not really sure what to make of it. I wouldn't say it helped, and honestly has made me feel a bit worse somehow. But I'm stupid for looking for an answer in the first place. I've been so stressed and confused and sad lately that I probably just would have done better accepting the woman may have hated me for no reason. But now that I've gotten that, I'm still cutting off my mom, dad, and my sister because she still won't even listen to me. Her and my mom are still harassing me, and I'm just not even in a state of mind to deal with it all anymore. I know I said I'm not the cutting off type, but I realized I'm going to feel horrible either way, so why not just remove myself? Obviously, they've never wanted me around anyways. And a bit of an update on my current situation. My friends have still been supporting me and helping me through all of this, which I cannot be more grateful for because if it wasn't for them, I honestly don't know if I could handle all this. In worse news, my job let me know I was being let go, which isn't related to the situation at all, but just feels like a kick in the face. I don't know what I did to piss the universe off, but obviously things aren't going in my favor. So my plan is still to stay with my friend and get an apartment with another one once their lease is up in 2 months. But now I just also have to find another job. Anyways, that's the update. I'm feeling absolutely terrible right now and I'm just trying to get past all this. Hopefully in a couple of months I can come back and update you with more positive news. Well, let's not waste any time and move on straight to the final update that is 5 months after this last post. It's been a while since I updated on my situation. A few people have been asking if I'm alright and if things have gotten better, so I decided to just make another post about what's currently happening. For starters, I still haven't talked to my mom over the past few months. From the few things I have heard though, she has begun acting like I don't even exist. She stopped bringing me up so much when talking to my siblings. She's apparently gotten rid of any photos that have me in them. Then, she started referring to my siblings as her only 2 children, especially my brother who she keeps making it a point to call her only son. My brother is tired of arguing back and forth with her, so he ignores whenever she says stuff like that. And honestly, I don't really mind her doing any of that. It hurts of course, but it's right on track with everything else she's said and done the past few months. Plus, it's really only fair since I haven't talked to her. I haven't talked to my dad either. I do know he has asked my brother about me a few times. Part of me does feel bad for not talking to him. I have a feeling though that if I did talk to him again, a lot of it would be about how I should try and talk to mom, and I don't want to do that. As for my sister, I actually have spoken to her. My brother finally convinced her the whole situation wasn't totally my fault. So we've talked a little bit. Not a whole bunch, but it's something. And when it comes to my brother, I believe the last few months have been the most I've talked to him. It's been great. I feel like our relationship is better than it's ever been. And having at least one person from my family on my side has made things easier. My living situation has gotten a lot better. I did manage to secure a new job after I lost mine. A couple of months ago, me and my friend did move in together, which has been going great. And just my friends in general have been supporting me through all of this. I've been going through a rough patch mentally lately, not only because of the whole getting kicked out thing, but a combination of stuff that happened before and after that. So just having people there to take my mind off of stuff has helped a lot actually. So that's the update. My situation has improved quite a bit. My life is less chaotic now, feeling emotionally drained still, but I assume that will change over time. Also, thanks for the kind messages and check-ins people have been sending me. I've been off here for a little while, so coming back to that was nice. Well, OP, I'm truly sorry about your whole situation. I cannot understand how your mom would feel like that of things that you clearly had nothing to do with. And also that defense your brother made of you, that you are actually not totally at fault. You are not at fault at all. So I do think it's a sad situation to be in, but you seem to be taking it on stride and just moving forward. Focus on that, OP. So here's wishing you the best. Thanks so much for sharing and take care. And now let's finish this video with a mood booster post. This post is from the subreddit Malicious Compliance and it's by user Agiani. Expense reimbursement policy? I'll follow it to the letter. At my previous job, we had a strict expense reimbursement policy. The rule? only expenses with receipts were reimbursed, no exceptions. 1 month, I traveled for work and had a few small expenses like bus fares, street parking, and tipping, where getting a receipt was impossible. I submitted my report clearly listing these minor changes totaling about $20. Rejected. My manager said, "No receipt, no reimbursement. Policy is policy. We need every receipt for audit purposes." Fine. Cue malicious compliance. The next trip, I went all in. Needed a bottle of water, bought it from a fancy cafe with a printed receipt. Short taxi ride, no cash, only expensive app-based rides with e-receipts. Instead of public transport, I took more costly options that provided invoices. Tipping a server, no cash, added it to the bill at high-end restaurants with detailed receipts. My total expenses, $280 instead of $20. When finance processed my claim, my manager was furious. "Why is this so high?" "Well, you said no receipt, no reimbursement. So I made sure everything had a receipt." A new policy was introduced the following week. Reasonable expenses may be reimbursed at management's discretion, even without receipts. Nicely done, OP, changing stupid policy one malicious compliance at a time. Thanks so much for sharing. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out. So here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.